Hello, this is Pat Carosa, and I'm in this grief share group, and this is session 7, which is about regrets. I lost my dad about 7 years ago, and my grandfather almost a year ago to dementia, my dad to cancer, and to say it's been hard is an understatement. And if you've been following these videos, it's obviously been a quite a 7 year journey, um, and this is probably the hardest out of all of them is regrets. This grief share has a video, and then we talk about it in the video. I like their analogy where we have this backpack of regrets and it's full, and you can hardly carry it, if you bring it to school or on a camping trip or hiking trip, and uh, and and that can make you angry or exhausted as well, and that's tough. That is tough. For my dad, there are regrets, no doubt. You can't escape regrets, I feel like. You really can't. You'll always have some sort of regret, even if it's small or big. Um, really, for my dad, my regret is not spending as much time with him when he was sick, which was really, it was tough for me to see him being so sick. That was, you know, I didn't think I would ever see that. And to see him get, the thing about cancer, though, is when you spend all, when you're living in the same house and you spend a lot of time with him, you don't see him getting weaker and weaker. You just see him as your dad, and you just see him as a person, and you don't really realize that, hey, he's not doing well. And for a good period, for basically all of it, for the 15 months, I just I put it in the rearview mirror. I ignored it. I set it aside, because I didn't want to admit that my dad had cancer, to that degree. And looking back at it now, I really regret doing that. I regret not spending as much time with him as possible. Um, and I think that's been my biggest regret the past over the past 7 years, because I look back and there's the video talked about if only, or what could you have done. I mean, there's nothing that I could have done to prevent cancer. It's a physical thing, you know. Only the person that has cancer can prevent that, and even then, it can come on suddenly. So sometimes you can't prevent it, and sometimes you can. But at the same time, you know, the if onlys do matter. I kind of wish I would have um, brought my dad on a lot of the hiking trips that I went on during that time, because I did go on a lot of them. And, maybe with hiking and exercising, working out, I guess, I can't see him working out, but at the same time, just walking along the track at the YMCA, um, could have been helpful. Could have made him a little bit more healthier. Um, and yeah, I think not spending much time with him is during those 15 months was difficult. And I never really had that father and son final moment. I think the final months, the last memory I had of him was us sitting together, us when he was healthy, not in the hospital. When we were sitting together, we were watching the NFL draft, and the Bills were picking 10th that year, and we thought, oh, okay, we're gonna get to bed early, and the Bills pick came, and they decided to trade with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they moved to the 27th spot. And guess who they picked? Patrick Mahomes. So uh, I never would have imagined that one trade would have had a gigantic effect on the Bills. So that's always interesting. But that's the last memory I had of him, of us sitting together, and him just in pain, just waiting. I mean, we were both falling asleep. Um, but the thing is, I never had that father and son moment. Um, that final moment. I never got to talk with him. Um, and say how grateful I am to be his son, to really, all of the sacrifices that he made for me. I never got to say that, and I really wish I had before it was too late. And you know, I never got to say thanks. Thanks for playing catch. Thanks for um, driving me places, going to Boy Scouts, campouts, and just creating this wonderful 25 years of memory. But what I also said in the video was these regrets can challenge you. It can help you get better. And I feel like through those lessons that I learned with my dad, I used with my grandpa when he was sick with dementia, and he had dementia for obviously much longer than my dad had cancer. I think it was like 3 to 4 years. And every time he came to my house, every time I went to his house, I spent as much time with him and talked to him as much as possible, and tell him that he was the best grandpa ever. And thinking back, I have no regrets over that, to how I handled that situation, because I know I made his final years worth living. Um, so, I think that's what you do with regrets. They're always going to be there, but you can't change the past. You can only change the present and the future, and that's what you have to do. And once you let go of those regrets, your regret backpack will get less and less and less, and it'll be easier to walk. Um, so, so that's the regrets I have, but I think it only challenged me to be better.